Boosh. Streams live. It's a later stream. It's a later stream. The stream's live. It's a later stream, guys, because I've been a little on the busy side. But welcome to the stream. I'm going to comment first as a joke. So I always get a million first. I get a million first from people saying first. So today I'm going to be first. Yeah, I'm first. Right, I'm going to put the stream link in the description. Stream's live. I'm first, guys. And it's giving me a WH Smith. It's giving me a Smith Toys Superstores ad. Hello, David. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream, absolutely everyone. It's a later stream, guys. It's a later style stream. You can't claim your own first, sir. I know, but I get a million people saying first. I get a million people saying first, and half the time you're not first, so I jokingly put first. It's a joke. It is a joke, guys. Welcome to the stream. It's a slightly later stream because I'm currently halfway through a job application. And a person I'm getting a reference from, a guy that I know was going to give me a reference. I need his phone number, and I've only just messaged him, so I thought I'd stream because I can't do any more until I get the phone number. But I'll probably get it in the next hour, probably. I'll probably get it in like the next hour and a half, 2 hours. So, how is everybody today? How is everybody today? Is everybody nice and dandy? So, welcome to the stream. Hello, Egg. Welcome to the stream. Sorry, I don't think I read your comment. I'm always dandy. That's good. Let's think about what we want to do. So I want to jump into here because I know there's a bed in here. I've just hurt my finger, guys. I don't know how. But dated a guy named Dan D once too. Yeah, so I was what was I reading? What was I reading a while back, guys? I was doing something a while back, and I came across something quite funny like that. I was doing something, and I know what it was now. I was writing a book. Ironically, it's one of my Dawn of Planets stories, so I think it was the Attack from Space. I wanted to have like a joke name in it. Because obviously I love joke names. That's and I was looking through this website called Funny Names, and a lot of them were real. There was a real life person. His real life name was Chris P. Bacon. And there was another one, Antique, and then there was a lady called Anna Fender. There were some really funny ones. Hello, Bits Penguin. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. We've literally just started streaming literally 2 minutes ago. 3 minutes ago now. It said 47 seconds to me then, and it suddenly changed. Welcome to the stream. We have 9 people watching, which is just mental, guys. Incredible. So, I'm going to quickly hop back home a minute, because I found some dark oak wood, and we didn't have a lot of that yesterday. Right, so what are we gonna do, guys? Can you build a penguin statue? I'll do that at Christmas. Bottle of water, mate. Yeah, we don't say bowl wa, but we don't say that, guys. We don't say bottle of water. We say bottle of water. That came from an American mishearing what a British person said, because when two British people speak together, if they got a thick accent, you can't understand them. I will do that next week, because next week it will be Christmas. It will be the start of the Christmas period. Water. Okay, use the lift, matey, mate. The lift, yeah. Americans call it an elevator. We call it a lift because both of them have the same name. A distinction. Yeah, I'm not. I once got a distinction in college. I got a distinction for my work in pre-production for a short film. That's probably because I was the only one that was in. Well, 3 of us did. 3 of us got distinction. Bro, your swear word is a wanker, mate. Nah. Wanker's not even a swear word. Wanker's not even a swear word. Wanker's not even a swear word, guys. Literally, wanker's just... Bloody hell's not a swear word. Bloody hell is not a swear word. Everyone's like, bloody hell's a swear word. No, it's not. Bloody hell's just not a swear word. Crap's not a swear word. Fuck shit. The only swear words in the world, the only swear words is fuck, shit and cunt. That's the only swear words. Why do you know what? I'm a fucking muppet, guys. I've walked all the way over here. It's because we were talking about snow builds, so I'm going to be working on here next week because it was the start of our Christmas period next week. 7 days today. A week today, it's the start of the Christmas period, guys. It's the start of the Christmas period. I mean, Great Britain isn't fancy. Great Britain isn't fancy. No, we don't celebrate Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving's not a holiday in the UK. Thanksgiving in the UK. The UK see Thanksgiving as just an American excuse to have a holiday between Halloween and Christmas because they have to have an extra feast in between Christmas. I'm joking. But well, yeah, great. But then the UK have. Well, we didn't bring it there. We formed it while we were there, but it was never really. Great Britain created Thanksgiving in the United States, but it was really the colonists that created it in the 1690s. So it never took off anywhere else. We don't have Diabetes Day. I mean, America might have Diabetes Day because the only thing we have from America's Thanksgiving is we have Black Friday, and that's only because of Walmart. The only reason we have Black Friday in the UK is because Walmart owned Asda. Walmart owned the British supermarket Asda. The guy that owned Walmart owned Asda, and he brought it over. And yeah, that's the only thing the only bit of Thanksgiving the UK have is Black Friday. That's the only thing. Hello, Kings of SD2. Welcome to the stream. Asda are really nice. Asda is a good shop. It's just I prefer some of the other ones. I prefer Tesco's, but they're all nice. They are all nice. Your birthday is Black Friday. Cool. I hope you have a good birthday. Yeah, everybody, please consider subscribing. I want to hit 8K by my birthday. Can I drive? No, I can't. Hello, Jake Marriott. Welcome to the stream. I can't drive. Well, every store in the UK is like that. Every store in the UK is like that. Swiss Rex. Happy early birthday, Happy early birthday, bro. Yeah, I thought you said Joe then, but I'm not. My birthday's next month. Why can't I drive? Because I couldn't afford to learn. I couldn't afford to learn, and I was going to do it when I was 18, and then we went into COVID. How can you not drive? Because I couldn't afford the lessons. I couldn't afford the lessons, guys. And also, there was a huge backlog in COVID. Because of COVID, there was a huge backlog of where basically hundreds of thousands of people were trying to do it at the same time. You need lessons there. Yeah. You can't just... Well, you can. You can just go and do the driving tests, but you've got to have lessons beforehand to learn how to drive. Yeah, I think it's because we invented the grocery stores. UK is the only country in Europe that has American-looking grocery stores. That's because we invented That's because we invented those grocery stores. The UK in the 1940s, the UK in the 1940s switched from traditional small grocery shops to just big ones. We get a permit then just to drive with a licensed adult until you're ready to take the road test. Yeah, that's illegal. That would be illegal in the UK. You can have a provisional license, but a provisional license doesn't mean you can drive. If you drive with a provisional license without taking a test, you're going to prison. Yeah, it's 16, but in the UK it's 17. In the UK it's 17, but you can learn to drive at 17 and take the test at 17. On a motorbike you can... No, that's not true. On a motorbike you can learn yourself. No, that's also illegal. No, it's 1.12. Well, yeah, you've got to take the course. You can't drive on the permit in the UK. If you haven't got a driving license in the UK, you can't drive. You can't drive in the UK if you don't have a license, which is probably why America has more road accidents. America, the interesting thing with America, 15, we could drive with an adult back and not allowed at night. Oh, of course, it's a single 5-hour session. Well, yeah, the UK does it differently. The UK does it differently. I think it's like, it's an hour. The UK does like 2 hours a time. But yeah, in the UK, if you don't have a license, if you don't have a genuine license and if you do the test in the UK with like a driving test, if you America's more tests. America said years ago, America changed the alcohol thing to 8 to 21 years ago, thinking that'll stop bad driving. But maybe it's because that you can drive before you've taken the test. In the UK, guys, if you're underage, you can't. If you're underage, you can't have a. If you're underage, you can't have a car license. It's 17. But now I'm going with my answer. Yeah, America's just an odd country. It's like 3,000 years behind everyone else. I just find that interesting. Got an Elytra. I do have an Elytra. I have quite a few because you can reset the end. But yeah, what would you do if someone donated $500? I would probably be a bit shocked. Yeah, what was I going to say a minute? Yeah, so the UK, on private land you can drive if not in the UK, Jake. In the UK, you can't drive if you're underage. If you've been allowed to drive on private land underage, that's still a prison sentence. You can't legally drive You can't legally drive without a license. That's not a legal thing you can do. It's like if it emerged that you did that, you would go to prison, and whoever let you drive the car would probably go to prison as well for it. Let's have a look. Is flying cars invented? It is, but it's just not commercially available. Yeah, the UK, to actually drive in the UK, you have to get a provisional license. Then you have to pass both a theory test and a practical driving test. But if you drive before that, you're going to prison. That's 100%. Yeah, but people want to speed up and not speed up. Like, my granddad, guys, never used to indicate. Not in Germany, yeah, but we're not talking about Germany. We're talking about the UK. The UK, you can't drive. You can't drive without a license. Like my granddad, guys, never used to use the indicator. I know where I'm going. Why should I tell anybody else while I'm going? Please friend me. I have no friends. I'm playing old Minecraft, I'm afraid. Hi, yay, YT, welcome back to the stream. But yeah, guys, literally, like, oh shit, I've just fallen down. What was I gonna say then? Literally, yeah, my granddad never used to. Why don't you sleep? I do sleep. Because there's no mobs available at the moment. I'm just thinking about what we can build a second. I'm thinking of build ideas. Nice accent, thank you. I'm glad you like the accents. This is a natural accent, guys. I'm not putting the accent on. Do sleep 1 hour a day. 1 hour a day. You would be dead on 1 hour a day. Having like 7 hours of sleep a week. A former British Prime Minister used to do that. Margaret Thatcher, who was the British Prime Minister, she used to sleep 4 hours a day. Can you guess what my name stands for? I have no idea. Literally, guys, like, a former British Prime Minister used to run the UK government off 4 hours. But not 1 hour. Yeah, but 1 hour you'd be dead. It's maximum speed. I just changed it, and I don't know if I asked you this. What was my favourite car brand? I don't have a favourite car brand. Romano Zaro, obviously maximum speed. I don't have one because cars don't fascinate me. Plus, I can't drive anyway, guys. I just haven't learnt to drive yet because I couldn't afford it because the prices have gone up really heavily in the UK. Like a driving lesson now in the UK costs like £50 an hour. A guy in my class was paying like £50 an hour. A guy who was in my college class was paying £50 an hour or something like that. Is 1 hour? Is 1 hour possible? No, an hour of sleep a night's not possible. Well, sleeping 1 hour, it's very detrimental to your physical and mental health, it causes immediate issues like fatigue, poor focus, impaired decision making, and it can lead to long-term risks like heart disease, diabetes, and a weak immune system. Adults need 7 to 9 hours of sleep. Getting anything less can have negative effects. That's quite expensive. Yeah. So that's why I haven't learned to drive, guys, because I just can't afford it. Yeah, sleeping too much sleep and too little sleep are bad for you. The human adult needs 7 to 9 hours sleep. So I get about 8 hours of sleep, guys, which I think is good. I have 7 to 9 hours sleep. I didn't say 79. I said 2 to 3 hours is not ideal. It's better than 1 hour. It's better than 1 hour. You know, a former British Prime Minister, Margaret Thatcher, used to run the UK government. Margaret Thatcher, who was the British Prime Minister for 11 years, for 11 years she ran the British government on 4 hours sleep a night. Margaret Thatcher was widely known for sleeping only for about 4 hours a night, often working late and waking very early, though her former colleagues suggest it might have been closer to 4 to 5 hours. But that's just ridiculous. Bearing in mind... Oh my, how do you have that type of Minecraft? Because I still have it. Because this... I've had this version for years. I've had this version since 2017. I've just continued to play it because I love this version. You can still buy this version. Not the version I'm playing, but you can still buy this Minecraft edition, as in you can still buy Legacy Console Edition. You can still buy the PS3, PS4, Xbox One, Xbox 360 editions. Yeah, so the Nintendo Switch version you can't buy anymore because they've taken it off the sale. Because there was only an online version of this edition. There was only a digital version, whereas all the other editions like Wii U and all that you can still find in shops. And I can tell you that, guys, because I saw the Xbox One edition, the PS4 edition, and the Wii U edition in a second-hand shop the other night. Well, no, this version doesn't have updates anymore because it was discontinued and was the players were put onto the Bedrock edition. But if you still play this version, you can still play it. Yeah, the Xbox One version, Xbox One and PS4 edition were the best ones, but I prefer this version because this version was the most. This version was the best one in terms of where you could play it. This version here, this was the only Legacy Console Edition update. This is the only 4J version that you could play anywhere in the world. You know, I could go and play, if I wanted to. Can I get this version? Not the one I'm playing right now. The version as in the PS4, Xbox One, Xbox 360, the PS3, PS4, Xbox One, Xbox 360, and the Wii U versions you can buy. You just can't buy the Switch version because the Nintendo Switch version only came out digitally. You can't buy this game digitally anymore, but you can still buy it in a physical format. Hello, Egg. Welcome back. You can still buy this version physically, just not the Switch version because there was no physical release for the Switch version. But in context, the game you can still buy. The only difference is PS4. The only difference is no, you can't buy this. The one I'm playing you can't buy because this one you can't buy it online. You can buy the game online. You can buy the physical copy online, as in the disc versions. You can't buy the digital versions of these games because they were discontinued, and there's no way to buy the digital versions of these games anymore. Pardon me. That you can't buy. Yeah, you can't buy the digital versions of these anymore. You can buy the yeah, you can still buy the texture packs. Do you play the texture pack or the version? This is the version. For some reason, you can't use the button on PlayStation. Actually, Egg, I can fix that for you. My friend did a video on how to get it back. And it works. Well, apparently it works. Well, 30,000 people have said it works, I think. Let's go to my friend's channel, guys. Deceptide. Why is this channel not showing up? Deceptive, what have you been doing on your channel, you dirty dog? Oh, now it's popping up. I thought he'd been shadow banned then. Nobody tell Decepted I called him a dirty dog. Nobody tell Decepted I called him a dirty dog, guys. That's between us. That's between all of us on this stream. Hello, the Joke 60. Welcome back. There's a video. So basically, my friend did a video how to downgrade it on PS4 and get the additions button back. I believe it'll work on PS4 or 5 because I think they're similar, aren't they? But the difference with what Nintendo did, Nintendo made the Bedrock a separate game. So Nintendo made the Bedrock a separate game. So look, I've got Minecraft here, and then I've got the Bedrock edition here. Why can't I get back onto the game? There we go. Editions button, bro. I remember trying to get that back to bad. I was trying desperate to play Legacy again. Yeah, so my friend did a video on how to sort of get it back. I think, how many people have watched this video now? 23,000 people have watched it. He uploaded it 4 years ago, and people are still sort of finding it. I think it still works what you did. Yeah, I think it should work. There wasn't a PS5 version, but there wasn't a PS5 version because PS5 came out after it was discontinued. Because PS4 got discontinued in 2019. Legacy Wii U was discontinued in 2018. When the Ocean Aquatic came out. I let find out that I bought Minecraft on the PS4, my main account, but not my other account, so I was getting the additions button on my other account. Ah! Yeah. Thank you to the people who've subscribed. We are 35 subscribers off hitting 7,400. We are 600 and... Oh, my throat. We are 600 subs. Sorry, I'm just checking my notifications. I've messaged a guy. I've messaged somebody who was on my... I've messaged the guy that was my media technician when I was in college. I've messaged him to give me his phone number so I can put him as a reference in a job application. ROA has received a membership by David. How many memberships have you given out? And ROA's just appeared in the stream. That's hilarious. How much money have you spent on giving gift memberships out? Like, that's got to be like 4 or 5. And then Frenzo did quite a few as well. So I had the notification through the other day, and I'm like, like, we've got 11 members now. 10 or 11. I think that might be 11, actually. Right. We should merge. What's the difference between these two, then? Ah, this is a Silk Touch one. Ah. That's a Silk Touch. Why is this one 4 and that one's 5? I don't know. I have 3 trophies away from them. Do you know what? You don't have plats in here. I've got most of them, guys. Defeating Elder Guardian, because I couldn't find one. Void Officials now gathered one as well. Levitate up to 50 blocks. Hit a player with snowballs. Poison a witch. Take 100 damage. Use an elytra to fly through a 1x1 hole. I can't seem to do that one. And open every chest in the battle minigame arena in 1 round. That one's more hard because you've got to know where every chest is. That one's more hard. So I've got, hold on. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've only got, I'm 7 away. The day Ed gets the membership is the day the world ends. The world's over. Have you got 5 gifted before? No. Like literally up until like 2 weeks ago. Void is a mod. Void's been a mod for a while. I gave Void a mod like a month ago. Literally, like, what was I going to say, guys? No, up until about 2 weeks ago, we didn't have any channel members. I launched a channel membership back in, like, I launched a channel membership in, like, August. I launched it in, like, July. But it's only been the last 2 weeks that people have actually, you know, bought the membership. I will do some content for it eventually, because if you are a channel member, you have access to something called early access to YouTube videos. So you can watch the YouTube videos like an hour, like a day before I post them. It could be as much as a month before, but that's a little bit... You do have the first. You were the first member. Guys, I got an idea. I want to do a FIFA series, but what do you guys think? Where I take it, maybe we do something where channel members can suggest things we do. Maybe I do something where channel members can suggest things we do in that series. Like, you know, like I've got to set. It's maybe forfeit FIFA. Maybe we do forfeit FIFA. Maybe it's something like football with a forfeit. The Genkinator has just we've just seen hold on, we just seen about 5 come through. Hold on. The Genkinator's just subscribed to us. I found out he has 300k. Fair play for finding my channel when you've got 300k subscribers, because I guarantee you'll have a lot of recommended. So YouTube's recommended me everywhere at the moment. Then how many was that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's 4. Guinevere got one. Guinevere, no, it's Guinevere, isn't it? Sorry, my reading skills are horrible. Maybe I should put my glasses on. Where are they? Oh, it's because it's dark, guys. I've been here longer than some of them. Savage Cree's been around for a while. It is 100% random. Like, so, guys, what do you think? Should I do something called Forfeit FIFA? Where basically, if I don't win a certain amount of games in the season, you guys get to sell my best player or something like that. What do you want me to do? I come up with this idea yesterday. I thought forfeit FIFA would be quite a cool thing. So, well, I know my settings should be. Let's have a look. There's a toggle switch in the center. Let's have a look what is set. Cause I'm new to monetization, guys. This is the first year I've ever been monetized by YouTube, so I'm not aware of all of this stuff. I could actually create. I actually have the rights. I've actually got access to make a shop as well, so I could actually make Climate of Joe products and put them on here. I could actually make a shop, but I've just not decided to do any of that shit. I come up with some ideas of something I might do. I've even got something called Brand Connect. I've even got access for something called Brand Connect, where basically I've also qualified for YouTube's YouTube Brand Connect program, where brands can obviously sponsor videos and things like that. I could actually do that, and I could do some other stuff. I could actually do shit like that. Make a wheel, yeah. Yeah, we can do that. So you spin the wheel. Yeah. So it was just that I love those content. I love the content where you can do that. Perhaps I'll do that as a maybe you have, like, I'm not aware. Like, at the moment you're in 6th place. The XP stuff, at the moment you're in 7th, but everyone from 1st to 10th has the same. Actually, everybody from 1st to 14th all has 75, which is, yeah, I have no idea what the settings are. Here we go. Oh my god, my nose. Yeah, the number of members has skyrocketed in recent days. Like, November 8th, 2. Then it was, now it's 11, which is just crazy. What am I doing, guys? What setting was I looking for? Actually, there is no buttons for me to click. Everything's clicked. Yeah, let's call them both. Yeah, so yeah, so we got 2 on League 1, and we got 2 on League 1 and 1 on Championship. So I've named them after footballs. I've named them after football leagues. So I've named them after the English football leagues. That's pretty sad, isn't it? Ironically, kind of funny that I'm coming up with this FIFA idea. Maybe I'll start filming some of that tomorrow if I've got time. If I've got time, maybe I'll start filming some of that content. So I'll do one video. I'll do the start of one video, and maybe actually, guys, maybe you should pick a team. Maybe you guys should pick me a team. Should I do my favorite? Should I do the team I support, and we've got to rebuild them? We've got to rebuild them, but every season we have like a load of forfeits if things go wrong. The Green Bay Packers. Yeah, I was thinking of that then. Right, I was thinking about that then. So, I'd love to do it. Obviously, a team. I'd love to do a team in England. There's 92 teams we can do. We can do any team from League 2 to the Premier League. Obviously, I kind of want to do Everton, because obviously I'm a massive Everton supporter. Burnley. They always give me a contract on players' career mode. Oh, we could. That's interesting. But I'm thinking Everton just because I support Everton, and Everton are an interesting team. We could do. Everton would be an interesting one to do because they are historically they are one of the most historic teams. Like literally, Everton created the league. Everton's one of the football teams that created the league. Okay, pin my next message, please. Okay, pin. Why am I on top chat? I need to be on live chat. Starting for the Championship. Burnley aren't in the Championship. Burnley are in the Prem. It would be more satisfying, but I can switch that. I can switch that. I can take a team. I can switch the teams around. I can put Everton in League 2 if I wanted to. Yeah, I was thinking Everton because the reason I was thinking Everton though is because in the last 5 years Everton have been torn apart by the Premier League. Everton were barred from signing players for years. Everton almost got relegated 3 times in the last 4 years. In the last 4 years, Everton almost got relegated 3 times due to the fact that they were barred by the Premier League from spending money, which resulted in they had to sell all their stars to stay afloat. So basically, when I said about Everton, guys, literally they had to sell Richarlison, who scored for Tottenham yesterday. He scored a 40-yard goal. Richarlison got sold to Tottenham for 60 million. He didn't want to go. Yeah, Everton got cases, and those cases were corrupt. You're having fun on Minecraft Online? Cool. Yeah, Everton got hit with financial fair play rules for something that didn't benefit them sportingly. Everton was struggling financially, and they overspent on a stadium payment. They overspent on a stadium payment. Man City breached it Man City breached it over 100 times over across the board, but Man City have so much money that they've spent on all these lawyers. Their lawyers were on something like £5,000 a second or something like that. Their lawyers were on so much. Yeah. Manchester City. The difference between Manchester City's case and Everton. Everton's case was one specific breach. Man City was all across the board. Literally, Man City's thing Man City's thing. Some of it was dodgy deals. Some of it was deals that they don't even know where the money come from. Some of it was they basically were paying players more wages than they let on. Are you still on old Minecraft? Yeah, because I'm always on old Minecraft. Hello, Bryce Cho, just welcome back. I know you look on GTA 6. I've never played GTA, so why would I play GTA 6? Yeah, literally, Man City's thing was they were reportedly paying players more money than they were letting on. So Man City was a team that nobody really heard of. They were the weaker team in Manchester for decades. These new owners come in and they suddenly splashed 30 million on a new player straight away. And basically, it's alleged that they broke all the financial rules. It's alleged that they broke all the financial rules from the season that they were bought for 9 years. The first year is the first year they bought that club. You have been adding for 2 days to call Dad, and I don't know what you're on about. Do you think I'm the person that really leaked the GTA thing or something like that? Well, yeah, but I'm not, guys, because Jesus Christ, that actually happened, guys. a kid who was autistic, I think, was working on, his dad was working on GTA, and basically he told people in his classroom that his dad was working on the new GTA 6, and they said prove it, and of course the kid did by his dad was had the SD card for the trailer and he nicked it. No, you can't post that it's that it's working on. I think you've got me mistaken with someone else. But yeah, that's exactly what happened, ROA. Yeah, Manchester City's cases. Man City's cases have been brushed under the carpet. Man City's cases, the verdict on Man City should have been in March. We're now in November. Everton got 10 points deducted, so they got... Everton had got to 14 points, and they suddenly lost 14 points. Yeah, I'm not a GTA tester. Oh, so he's done it on other people's streams. Interesting. Yeah. But literally, the Man City thing, Everton got 10 points deducted. You got money, you good, you struggling, you struggle more. Thing is, though, as well, Everton's biggest struggle that season was that they were forced to sell people. Like, one of the worst bits of that season was that Everton had been forced to sell a lot of strikers. They had to sell Alex Iwobi, who's doing really well for Fulham. They had to sell him. They didn't want to sell him. They had to sell Thomas Cannon, who's doing really well with somewhere else. Well, in football, they had to sell a lot of the good football players that they brought, like a lot of youth players. Who did they have to sell last season? They were forced to sell Richarlison for 60 million, and he didn't want to go. Everton had to accept a cut price deal. Richarlison could have gone for 85 million. Like that's what Barcelona were willing to pay for him. The year before, Barcelona were willing to pay 85 million for Richarlison. Well, Everton are doing all right this season because all the financial issues have been lifted. Everton can actually spend money this year. Everton are doing all right at the moment, but it got to the point, because they couldn't sign players, it got to the point that they only had 10. At the end of last season, Everton only had 8 players contracted. Everton only had 8 players contracted to the club at the end of the last season. This was the David Moyes, who manages Everton. David Moyes, who manages Everton, said that's one of the weirdest seasons he's ever had in his life. 178 of people have watched this stream in 40 minutes. I'm going to stream for like an hour or two or so. I'm only streaming because I can't finish my job application. My job application that I'm applying for, I can't finish it until a guy who works at my old college gets me back. He's willing to give me a reference. He's willing to give me a reference, but I need his phone number for the reference, because this weird job won't accept emails. It won't just accept the email. They need the phone number, and I don't have the guy's phone number. Well, I used to. We used to have his how's the pension coming along? I don't have a pension. My friend found out the other day my friend that's been working for like a year. My friend that's been working for like a year or two. He found out 3 years. My friend that's been working for 3 years. He found out the other day that he can retire in 2070. My friend can retire in 2072 when he's 69. Oh no, when he's 72, because because of obviously the crisis the UK's got, the UK ups the retirement age to 70. In France, it got upped to from 62 to 64, and they went berserk. Like France, like the French people, they went on a they went on a riot and on a protest. Yeah, I found out a couple of days ago in the UK the best teaching. I found out the other day, a couple of months. I found it like a few months ago. The best pension in the UK is teachers. Teachers have the best pension. One of the best pensions you can get in the UK is a teaching one. But yeah, what was I going to say, guys? So, yeah, the thing about Everton, ROA, is Everton were barred from spending money. So it resulted, over the last 4 years, Everton are the only team that have a positive net spend. They were the only team not in debit. The problem with Everton was Everton had an owner that used to splash money. Everton had an owner that basically put 700 million pounds into the team, and basically washed it all down the drain because he signed superstars. He offered contracts to people that didn't. They turned down Erling Haaland. Everton turned down the opportunity to sign Erling Haaland at 16 on a free. Everton turned down the chance to sign Erling Haaland on a 3. There's a couple of them, like it's bizarre. Yeah, Everton turned down the chance to sign Erling Haaland on a 3 in 2017 because the owner didn't think he was quality. One of Everton's greatest ever strikers, Duncan Ferguson, he said that in his book because he was working there as a coach at the time. He said, yeah, they turned down Erling Haaland and brought back a 33-year-old Wayne Rooney. Like, Wayne Rooney, great player, but we could have had Erling Haaland. There's a couple of players like that. Everton wanted to sign Donnarumma when he was Everton wanted to sign Donnarumma, who's playing for Man City, in 2020 because there was rumours he was going to leave AC Milan, and Everton's manager, Carlo Ancelotti, wanted to sign him for Everton. 48 million he wanted to sign him for, because that would have been how much he was worth at the time. Now he's probably worth like 100 million. I did get the notification. I just didn't read it out. I do apologise. Nick has received one, and I couldn't read that. And then I got to be honest, I don't even know who Nick is. Well, I would be happy, but then I would rather people buy books. Ancelotti, great manager. I love Ancelotti. I loved him as a manager at Everton. I was a little bit upset when he decided to F off to Madrid, because he literally told the players to go and have a good summer, to have a great summer, and come back fit in August, in July. Then suddenly it emerges on mid-June, early June, it comes out Carlo Ancelotti has left for Real Madrid. Everton fans weren't very happy about that because they felt that he just jumped ship. And then suddenly that's when they turned to shit. Ancelotti partially left because the Everton owner told him that there was no money. Like, they wouldn't be able to sign anybody. And then for the last 3 years, they weren't able to sign anybody. Literally, since Carlo Ancelotti left, Everton haven't had a good season since. Since Ancelotti left, Everton haven't had like a good season left. Last season was crazy. Everton had a great... since Carlo Ancelotti left, he got Everton to a 10th place finish, but that season was incredibly tight. Everybody from 10th to 2nd was like 8 points. there was a point in that season when Everton was second. His plan... Yeah, that wasn't actually true. He called Real Madrid initially to ask about signings, a few signings. He called Real Madrid to ask about some potential signings that he wanted to make for Everton, to inquire about some signings, and they said, who are you going to sign? They said, who are you going to sign? He said, who are you going to get as the new manager? And they said, oh, we're looking at Santiago Arras, who was the guy that was managing Juventus at the time, and he changed his mind. He changed his mind and decided to stay at Juventus. And then Perez called Ancelotti and said, why don't you come? And then he spoke with Duncan Ferguson, who was his assistant manager at Everton. Duncan Ferguson, who I said was a coach just now, guys. Duncan Ferguson was offered a job at Real Madrid with Ancelotti. He was offered the chance to be assistant manager at Real Madrid, and he turned it down to remain with Everton because he loved Everton so much. Like, if you were offered a chance... If you were offered the chance, guys, to go to another country and be assistant manager of one of the greatest teams in the world, would you turn it down? Well, Carlo Ancelotti would never have... Carlo Ancelotti would never have gone to Liverpool. He would never go to Liverpool now. Carlo would never go to Liverpool now because he managed Everton, and he self-proclaimed that he is an Evertonian. Yeah, as an example, like, Carlo Ancelotti admitted that he was a bit of a Liverpool fan when he took over at Everton, and then when he was managing Everton, he loved the passion of the Everton fans, and he admitted that if every time he's played Liverpool since as a manager, he's felt like he was doing it for the Everton fans too, which is actually really sweet. So every time he beat Liverpool as a manager with Real Madrid this time, he admitted he felt like he was doing it for the Everton fans as well, because he managed their fierce city rivals. In fact, he got Everton their first win against Liverpool in a decade at Anfield, which Everton hadn't beaten Liverpool at Anfield in 22 years when he won there. Which he should have won it in He should have beat them the season before. He should have beaten the season before. The COVID season before, Everton had to play Liverpool, and Everton hit the post in like the 90th minute. Yeah, Everton and Liverpool are great rivals, but the reason they're great rivals is because, obviously, same city. It's an interesting thing, though. Everton is actually more historic than Liverpool are. Because Everton are the first football team from Liverpool. The first team to win the league title from Liverpool. And also the first team to win the league at Anfield. Because Everton used to own Anfield. Anfield was not built for Liverpool. Anfield was built for Everton. And a dispute over the rent resulted in Everton's going, well, fuck it, we'll move somewhere else. Liverpool only exists because Everton's chairman literally, Anfield was built for Everton. If you go and literally, look at Anfield in Wikipedia, and it says tenants. Everton 1884 to 1892, Liverpool 1892 onwards. Everton's Liverpool Stadium, Anfield, was actually built for Everton. Everton played in it for 8 years, and they lost. And the guy that was Everton's chairman, John Holding, he ups the rents to the point where the club couldn't pay it. He was trying to force the other board members out, So Everton basically decided to part ways with Holding and go and build their own team. So they built Goodison Park. That's why the rivalry between Everton and Liverpool is so fierce, because Everton basically say that about that the fact Liverpool only exists because Everton decided to back away because the rent become too high. The rent at the time was thing to £200 a month, which £200 a month back in them days was like serious money. No, £200 a month nowadays, I'm like, yeah, give it here. So that's what nearly happened. The San Siro, that nearly happened. That nearly happened in the early 2000s. Liverpool wanted to move out of Anfield in the early 2000s, but they couldn't afford to move to build a new stadium. So they had hopes of making a City of Liverpool stadium, and it would be Everton and Liverpool would both own it together. But basically, it fell apart. There was a plan. There was a plan in the early 2000s for Everton and Liverpool to basically co-own a stadium. Hello, Alina. Welcome to the stream. Hello, Campot Usb. Welcome to the stream. Hello, like and subscribe. Oh, thank you. It's really kind of you. Yes, so basically that is true, ROA. It did almost happen. Everton and Liverpool almost did own a stadium. But now Everton don't need to do that anymore because Everton have a new stadium. In fact, guys, like Everton's new stadium was going to host the Euros because Anfield isn't UEFA standard. Do you know a person named Yuki? Well, they join my streams, yes, and I can see you've got a similar profile picture to what they've got. Anyway, what was I going to say? Can you put... Hello, Dusty. I haven't got blocks on me, actually. I can't put some blocks here. Fine. We'll do 3 blocks. There you go. You're a 4-year-old kid. I'm not a 4-year-old kid. I wish I was, because I'd have no responsibilities and I wouldn't have to look for a job. But I'm not. I was 19 years ago. Something weird has happened. I feel like I'm growing apart from gaming. I'm not even touching my PS5 now. I'm basically almost outside 24/7. I mean, that's still good though, Glowbeans. If you're outside more, being outside a lot is healthy. Fresh air in your lungs is good. It is very good. But Yuki's just my username. My real name is Alina. Oh, cool. Cool. What was I going to say, guys? So, yeah, ROA, that almost happened. Everton and Liverpool almost had a San Siro style thing. But yeah, literally, Liverpool's history comes from the fact that Everton refused to pay a really high rent on Anfield. So So John Holding was left with an empty stadium and no team to play in it. So he created Liverpool. Do you know what Liverpool's early name was? But that's the reason, because you're outside more. But that's good though. But that is good though, Glowbeans. Like, being active is still really good. Literally, I'm out. So all of Liverpool's glory only happens because Everton refused to pay a really high rent on the stadium, Anfield Stadium. So rather than pay the fund, Everton went away and built Goodison Park, and Liverpool was built. In fact, Liverpool was initially called Everton. Liverpool was. Here, Liverpool original name. Liverpool FC original name I probably should have put. Liverpool FC's original name was Everton FC and Athletic Grounds Company Limited. It was founded under this name in January 1892 when after a dispute with the Everton FC committee over the rent of the Anfield Stadium, which Holding owned. The name was changed to Liverpool FC and Athletic Grounds in June 1892 when the club was officially recognised. It couldn't be called Everton Athletic because it was seen as copyright. So Liverpool FC's initial name was going to be called was initially called Everton Athletic. It's incredible. Like yeah, that's good to hear, Glow Beans. Anyway, have a good day. But that's still good though, Glow Beans. Like, being outside is a very good thing, so I'm always outside. When I'm not streaming, guys, when I'm not streaming or writing books, I'm on walks in the woods with my camera, with my Canon camera. So I'm glad that's a good thing. Thank you for the donation, David. Sorry, I was just mentioning that point about gift memberships are £2.99 each. Yeah, it's not a boring derby. Literally, it's called the friendly derby. Hey Joe, guys, guess how tall I am. You're 5'4". That's just a guess. Literally, yeah, Everton Liverpool is the most heated rivalry of all. And actually, I'll tell you another thing about why it makes it more heated. Liverpool denied Everton a chance to win the Champions League in the 80s. What Liverpool fans did? You're 171 centimeters. So what's that? That's 5'7.5". Nah, that's not 5'6". That's 5'7.5". Because 170 is 5'7". Because 172.5 is 5'8". So if you're 172.5 centimeters, you're 5'8". But yeah, literally, in 1985 there was the Heysel Stadium disaster where Liverpool fans chased down Juventus fans, and there was a deadly crash, and all English teams got banned. So Everton, who had won the league that year, were denied the chance to be in the what is now the Champions League. And the running thing was Everton's team was seen as the best team in the world at the time, and they were expected to piss the Champions League of that year. The Champions League of 1985, Everton were predicted to piss it, and it resulted in they didn't get the chance. So the Everton team that won the league that season basically fell apart. Well, yeah, Liverpool, literally, one of the Everton players who played at that time period said it should have just been Liverpool targeted fans. It should have just been Liverpool targeted with the bans. He said Everton players the Everton team were being blamed for a game they didn't play. It's an interesting one. So literally. Yeah, you wouldn't leak meat size. That's just really weird. That's just really weird if you would do that. So yeah, like but it's also as well, like Everton are playing Manchester United at 8 o'clock. Everton can go above Liverpool tonight on goal difference. If Everton beat Manchester United today, we're going above Liverpool because Liverpool have 18 points and -1 goal difference. Everton have 15 and a -1 goal difference. So if Everton beat Manchester United tonight, but Everton have scored less goals than Liverpool this season but have conceded less goals, so I'm excited. What is the structure we just passed? Oh, the dead tree of Grenivian, I called it. The dead tree of Grenivian, so it's meant to be like a tree stump. It's meant to be like a tree stump, a big tree stump. It was just a daft build idea. So yeah, like when I was what was I referring to, guys? So yeah, like on the like the football thing, like Everton Liverpool is the best derby in the world. It's the greatest derby. Literally, it's the in the Premier League era. It's the most with the red cards. Yeah, Liverpool are 3 points above Everton. But if Everton beat Manchester United tonight, Everton will go above Liverpool on goal difference because Everton's goal difference is much better. Everton have conceded less goals and scored. Everton have conceded less goals. Liverpool have conceded 20. Everton have conceded 13. But Everton have been defensively in the last 4 seasons. In the last 4 seasons, Everton have been defensively one of the best teams in the Premier League, but they couldn't score. The reason Everton were really bad and in the relegation zone was because their strikers just couldn't do anything. Literally, like Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who's just left Everton. Who's just left Everton. He bagged 56 Premier League goals. In Ancelotti's last season, he bagged 16, and then he bagged about 10 goals across the next 3 seasons. Over the next 3 seasons, Carlo Ancelotti. Over the next 3 seasons, not Carlo Ancelotti. Over the next 3 seasons, Dominic Calvert-Lewin just didn't score a lot. He was predicted at one point to be one of the best strikers. He was predicted to be He was predicted to be Harry Kane's replacement as England striker, and that's not panned out. I've heard they want Scott McTominay in January though. That would be a nice signing, I think. Yeah, I've heard there's a few signers they want. I'll be back in a second, guys. Right. There we go. You're a tough guy. No, you're not. Joking, guys. Joking. But yeah, I think that would be a really cool idea. I think that would be a really cool idea. Joey, I hate being called Joey, guys. I hate being called Joey. That's something that I hate because my sister used to call it me, and I hate the name. Yeah, I hate the name. Yeah, so talking, I think, did he actually, how long have you timed him out for? He hasn't done anything wrong to be timed out. Literally, I think Everton would be a perfect thing to do in the FIFA career mode, because especially with a forfeit, because, you know, Everton are a great team. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have said that. Everton are a great team to do because they're one of the most historic teams. They haven't been relegated in 73 years. They've never been relegated from the Premier League, despite the fact that they stayed up on goal difference in 1998. Joe, am I gay? I'm not gay, guys. I'm not gay. I'm very much straight. But there is nothing wrong with being gay. There is nothing wrong with being gay. I've been friends with people who are gay. There's nothing wrong with being gay, guys. And I don't think... with a lot of people nowadays, there's people that... Am I trans? No, I have a dick. I'm not trans. And I don't think trans people can grow a beard, can they? Well, maybe they can. I don't know. I don't know if that's possible. With T they can. I was not aware of that. But yeah, like, what was I going to say? Yeah, I think Everton would be an interesting thing to do a FIFA career mode of that stature with, like, with forfeits. I think that would be a cool idea. I think that would be a really cool idea. Are you bi? No, I'm not bi. If I'm bi, someone that's bi means that they like both. But if you like both, I just said I'm not gay, so technically, how can I be bi? Because if you're gay, you like the you like the same sex. So if you're bi, you also like the same sex and the other sex. So yeah, but you have to be gay to be bi, because it means you like both. Joe is hetero flexible, and yeah, no, I don't even know what I've always known it as straight. So I didn't know what heterosexual meant, because we never really say that where I'm from. We never really said that. We would just say, well, we're straight. Bro's a bio. I mean, a bio is basically a description. So I don't know any of the other ones. Literally, I'll be honest, guys. I don't know any of the other ones. I know what straight is. I know what's gay, lesbian, and I know what bisexual is. I have no idea what any of the others are. I don't understand any of the other orientations, because I'm like, well, only the 100 days. It's more of a saying. Yeah, I'm not aware of what all the others are. I only know of 3 of them. You know, obviously straight, gay, bi. That's the only ones that I know, because a lot of the other ones I don't understand, because I'm like, if you're straight, you love the opposite. If you're gay, you love the same, and if you're bi, you love both. So that's the only 3 that are actually necessary. I don't get any of the others like pan or pan. I'm like, pan is probably just the same. And I don't get any of the others like when they say pan. I'm like, well, pan means you like both, because if it's pan, it means it's over a white. Like, that's why they call it a pandemic. A pandemic is when it's worldwide. So pan would be the same thing as thing over multiple or multiple. So that would be the same as bi. And I just don't. I've never understood that one. Pan is a concept that means that gender is irrelevant. You're attracted to the soul. Ah, okay. That's true though, Egg. I do agree with that one. I do agree with what Egg says. Literally, like, I do agree with Egg there on that. That's something that sometimes bothers me. I'm like, well, just because you're gay, you don't have to act it. Like, if you're gay, just be gay. But why do you have to wear like flash? Why do you have to wear like flashy clothes and put on a voice to show it? Oh, that's just what makes me laugh sometimes. There was a guy that does it on there's a British guy that does it on TV, and I'm like, there's no way that's his actual voice. Aren't you from Hammer's Lives? You mentioned a hammer earlier on. You mentioned hammer earlier on. Yeah. That's one thing. Like, I don't hate anybody, but that bit sometimes annoys me. I'm like, well, why are you putting on? Why are you putting on extra? Why are you putting on? Why are you putting on extra for that? You know, you surely there's more to your personality. Like, surely you do other things. Like, literally, I met someone that did that. Literally, they didn't have any other aspects of their body just apart from they were gay. I'm like, well, what's your favourite film? Oh, I don't watch films. What's your favourite TV series? I don't watch TV. What's your favourite video game? Oh, I don't play video games. I'm like, I don't know. I'm gay, they said. I'm like, Cruz. Oh, the German player. Really good player, mind. Really good player. He's retired now, isn't he? He isn't that old. He could have continued for a few years. Well, he's retired now. Tony Cruz could have continued on for a couple more years, I think. I mean, the guy's 35. I think he could have continued on for a few more years. Like, good career. He had a good career, mind. Bayern Munich, 130 games, 13 goals. 10 goals for Leverkusen on loan. Played for Real Madrid for 10 years. 22 goals. Great player. It's like, I think it will be Everton's captains next season. I think it'll be Everton's. Please be zesty. What? I've heard the word zesty. What does it mean? I don't know what it means. For example, as one, I think this will be Everton's captain's last season. He's played for Everton since 2009. I can't do a gay voice, guys. Flamboyant. Well, I am flamboyant, guys. I'm literally wearing a grandpa jumper and some brown trousers. I'm literally wearing a grandpa jumper. Well, yeah, it was my granddad. These jumpers couldn't fit my granddad, so they gave to me, which they're all right. They're slightly baggy, but all right. And you wonder why we call you old? Yeah, I'm literally wearing a granddad jumper. It's just comfy. It's just comfy. I'm literally wearing a granddad jumper, guys. Literally, what? You don't literally. Who here, if any of... Right, everyone on this stream, have you ever wore any designer gear? Designer shoes? Designer jackets or anything like that? Yeah. Old people clothes are the best. Yeah, they fit. Define designer, like branded shit. Branded shit, like designer. The word designer gear means designer stuff means like, you know, Gucci, Louis Vuitton, things like that. Where designer, where it's basically from like a big brand. Have you guys ever bought any of that stuff that has labels on it, like stuff that has labels on it? High end, no. But yeah, literally take off that logo, and it's not take off. Yes, yeah, but no clothes, like glasses or bags. Yeah, literally take off that logo, and it's not worth 20 quid. I knew a guy. I knew a guy. He spent £500 on a T-shirt, and then a year, and I knew someone that spent a load of money on clothes and they didn't fit. I knew people that did that. Like, why would you buy designer stuff? I knew someone that spent 500 things on on like shirts, and then they didn't fit. I mean, that happened to me last year, but it didn't. That happened to me earlier on in the year. I bought a shirt and it didn't fit. But guess what? I only spent a fiver on it. I only spent £5 on it. Buy second hand, or buy it from a normal shop. Look, literally, I had to buy a new pair of shoes a couple of weeks ago. I didn't realise how expensive shoes are now. I had to spend 40 quid. Yeah, literally. Well, I did that earlier on in the year. I bought some shirts, and basically a couple of months later they didn't fit. But that's not because I've grown, guys. That's because the shirt was really the shirt was quite tight. Anyway, I didn't realise how much shoes are now. I had to buy a new. Yeah, I had to buy a new pair of shoes. So basically, my shoe. I went on holiday roughly 2 months ago. I had to buy a new pair of shoes a couple of months ago because literally my shoes broke when I was on holiday. My trainers broke. I had to spend more because my feet are wide. Joe contemplating to remove my mod. I already did. As soon as you commented that, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'll give it back, but yeah, we don't need you timing out people. Oh shit! Whoops! I pressed the wrong button. I went to click give mod back, and I click hide on channel. Let's click unhide. Where's that button? How do I unhide? Can you comment? I've pressed the wrong button. Hold on. Hide. Have I unhid you? That was an hide user on this channel. Right. Right. Can I unhide? Undo. I pressed the wrong button. I can't see any of his comments. Shit. I'll be back in a minute. Right, I am the back. I am the back, guys. You asked first. Get that port far heat back. Yes. Would it be yeah or no? Yeah, I asked if I could time you out for 10 seconds. Well, I said go on. Yeah, and he wanted to time you out again. I will give you the mod. I'll give you the moderator back. There we go. But I'll give ROA a mod as well to make sure that so you can basically time out each other if you have to. There you go. There we go. But yeah, what was I going to say? Yes, so on the when I was talking about the shoes thing, guys, I had to spend more. I had to spend more on shoes because I had to buy a shoe size 2.5 sizes too big. I'm alone in a sea of blue. But you're also in a sea of green, which I think green looks better. Green looks more blended. Well, you can have a mod as well. Does everyone want mod right now? There we go. Yeah. Joe, have you ever shocked a dog or a cat? The fuck? What a comment's that? I've never seen anything like that. Now that's just unquestionably like I know you're American, Duffel Bear Rants, but that's not a common process in the UK. Might be in America. Actually, you might not be American. David's lost his green. Yeah, Duffel Bear Reacts. I am going to get rid of that comment because that's just really... I think I'm going to get rid of that comment because that's just wrong. That's like... That America. I was joking. You know I'm British. Well, I couldn't remember Duffel Bear Reacts. I will admit there's a lot of people who watches these streams. There's a lot of people. I have people all over the world watch these streams. We have people from India, Indonesia, Philippines, Germany, Italy, America, Canada. It's amazing. Literally, this is literally a universal thing, guys. It's universal. Pizza does taste nice. So I really love pizza, guys. I will admit. I think pizza's better than pasta. But pasta's nice as well. Of course, that big back. That's what a guy used to call me in my class. A guy in my college class used to call me Joe with a big back because they were saying that I had a fat ass. And they called me the champion of the Bundesliga because Bunda was a slang. Bunda's a slang somewhere for ass. So I was the chairman of the Bundesliga. So I was the chairman of the ass league. Yeah, no, I didn't say my... Can we see proof? No. But no, literally a guy in my college class used to call me, people in my college class used to sing Joe and the Fat Back because there was a joke that I had a really fat ass. So, yeah, that was the joke, guys. Everyone used to sing, whenever I used to walk in the room, it was Joe and the Fat Back, which is just... The Bunda, yeah, because of the Bundesliga was crazy. Yeah, so they called me the chairman of the Bundesliga because I had a fat ass, which is very funny. Which I found it funny. Some other people might not have. There was a joke that I had that was a massive joke in my college class, which not many people would probably let anybody else get away with that joke. But I do love food, guys. I do love a pizza. I had a pepperoni pizza. I had a pepperoni pizza on Saturday night. I will be honest, guys. There has been a time when I've just taken a full pizza onto a plate. I've taken a full pizza onto a plate and ate the full pizza because of how hungry I've been. Well, yeah. Yeah, but if they hadn't a sung about it, it wouldn't have been about making it. If they hadn't have sung it, they wouldn't have sung about it. It would have been Joe's just fat. Joe's just got a fat ass. Joe's fat. But no, because they sung about it and it was all legit because that's what made it the joke. Oh. And the joke, guys, was because I was really, really short at the time. Here we usually eat one pizza in a sitting. That's what I do. Well, that's what I do. That's what I do, guys. If I have a pizza, I just eat it in a full sitting. I eat a pizza in a full seating just because I like food. Was that a sneeze? Yeah, I've got hay fever, guys. I am well aware that it's now winter, well, late autumn, but my hay fever affects me throughout the year. What's your favourite thing? What we talk in terms of what we're talking about? We have to know what. Are we talking about my favourite food, my favourite film, or my favourite thing to do? It's got to be a thing that would potentially be my favourite food. Wow, that's an interesting. It's an interesting. I've got to say, it is pizza. Guess who's back after watching their hair? Egg has hair? I thought he was bald, which is why he has the name Egg. I thought you were bald. I'm joking, guys. I'm joking. No way I'll be. I'm 19. No way I'll be bald. It could potentially be. Literally, I know a guy in my school year, in my college class, that was like that. His hairline was just receding. I mean, my hairline. These people in my class, a couple of friends of mine in my college class, their hairlines were receding, and they were looking at my hairline, and my hairline was just like perfect, and they were making a joke that my hairline was absolutely fine, and they were joking. They were making so many jokes about it. I will admit, to answer your question, ROA, my favourite food is pizza and burgers. Burgers and pizza. Burgers and pizza, guys. But when I have a burger, guys, I mean I have a burger. Like, I love a good Big Mac. I love a Whopper. And when I'm in some other restaurants where they have really nice burgers, I'm talking about the burgers you have to stick a stick through to hold up the burger, like those ones. I love them. Generic, yeah. I once got called genetically ugly by someone. Which is just rude. Which is rude, isn't it? Which, how can you call someone how can you go call someone genetically ugly? I just think that's wrong. Oh shit. That's not dark oak, that's wish. I got called, yeah, I was bullied in school, but I was called somebody that was genetic. I got called by someone. This guy called me genetically ugly in my school year. Well, yeah, but I'm massively against bullying, guys. I'm massively against bullying. And yeah, I got called genetically ugly by someone. And the ironic thing is, the guy was shorter than me. The guy that was shorter than me. And I think that they were uglier than me. So I'm joking. I generally wouldn't call someone ugly. But because there is no one ugly. Yeah, so I had it all, guys. I had it all. In terms of like when you bully someone, I had the whole shebang. I had bullying for being very short. I had bullying for being really skinny. I had bullying for also being very chubby. However, would it be illegal? No, it wouldn't be. It wouldn't be illegal. While I don't like that, because there's a 39-year difference, there's literally an age gap there of nearly three times. It's not actually illegal. It would be illegal if she was 17. If she was 17, it would be illegal. It would be illegal if she was 17. But if they're 19, both 18. Well, if they're 18, 19, it's fine. But it's still, I still think it's wrong. I've listened to all remaining systems will bow to the first one. It does sound... That's because... I have seen that, Pixel King. I have seen that video you're talking about. I have seen that. Basically, Pixel King, that's because the the Galactic Empire was based on the Third Reich. But basically, if in German, if you do a speech and shout it out, it will sound something like that, because German language does have quite a ting to it. So, for example, if you go and look at one of Hitler's speeches. If you go and look at one of Hitler's speeches and go and watch it in English, he's not actually shouting. You think he's shouting about "kill everybody," and most of his speeches that he delivered publicly are not about that. But if you listen to it in German, you think he's yelling and shouting about this, and you think he's shouting evil shit. If you go and listen to any of his public speeches that he delivered, a lot of them was about rebuilding the confidence in the German worker, getting the German worker back working, rebuilding Germany. Hello, 62 the Bunny. I haven't seen you on the streams in a while. Welcome back. But yeah, literally, if you get what I mean, guys, literally, if you go and look at his speeches and then have some of them translated, all the public ones that he did, it was all about rebuilding the German. It was all about rebuilding the German, rebuilding Germany, making the German people proud to be German again. Star Wars is overrated. I love Star Wars. I love Star Wars because it changed TV. It changed film. But is it illegal? Is it illegal to date a 20-year-old boy? I've already told you, no. It's not illegal because they're both over the age of 18. It's not illegal, Duffel Bear. They're both over the age of 18. That's not illegal. If you're over the age of 18, it's not illegal. I generally... It's only illegal. It would be illegal if she was like 15. The minimum gap should be 5 years. But then it's not illegal. So like, it's not illegal though. So... Yeah, but then that's wrong though, because if you're older, so for example, when my grandparents got married, my nan was 17, my granddad was 23. Well, 16 actually, Egg. The age of consent is 16. The age of consent is 16. So my grandparents, morally it's not a legal standpoint, ROA. So, on a legal standpoint, there's nothing wrong with it. And plus, there was a person at the moment. I read an article the other day. I read an article the other day about this lady. She's with someone. A American politician is with someone 25 years older. An American politician's with someone like 25 years older. And they were the first person that loved them the way that they wanted to be loved. Legal is different, but I cannot marry an 18-year-old when I'm 70. No, that is just your personal perspective, though. It's your personal perspective. So, for example... No, it's not illegal. I'll be back in a second. I'll be back in a second, guys. I'm back, guys. Sorry. Sorry I was gone for a while. I had to just disappear. The month is running. If I don't have my if my game goes into low power mode if I don't move after so long. Sorry, I had to go. Yeah, I saw your comment about 1870. Yeah, I think that's immoral, but it's not illegal. It's still legal because if an 18-year-old wants to get with a 70-year-old man, she technically can, which that happened recently. I think. I forgot his name. I forgot the gentleman's name. Oh, yeah, it's just me perspective. Yeah, that's true. What's his name? I forgot his name now, guys. Leonardo DiCaprio. I think he's 50, and I think he was with a 22-year-old. Leonardo DiCaprio. No. Yeah, Leonardo DiCaprio was with somebody called Victoria Soretti, and I swear he's like. DiCaprio was 51. DiCaprio is 51, and Soretti is 27. So there's a 5-year. There's a 20. She's 27. He's 51. There's a 24-year age gap between them. So when they met, when they got together, she was 25. He was 49. Which is quite that's not the biggest. But isn't it for the money? Well, no, because she's fairly rich herself. I don't think DiCaprio's got that much money. Joe should go on the realm. I should create a realm. I'm tempted. I do Decepted. Yeah, I need. Yeah, I totally forgot about the realm. Because I have hardly played. I actually totally forgot the realm existed. Generational debit. When I create a realm for my YouTube channel, Decepted, maybe we'll take some of the builds off it. Maybe Aiden's prison cell. Maybe Ethan's. Maybe we'll copy that and stick it somewhere. And it's like a Easter egg. You gotta go find it on the world. Sorry guys, I'm just eating my sausage casserole. Is that because you've been sat down for so long? I mean, when I'm sat streaming, I have to sit up because my chair goes back so much that if I'm sat really nicely back on it, my arm's not long enough to reach my laptop. Because my chair won't go any. I can't get my chair any further forward. So I can't reach my laptop because I I can't sit here like this because I can't reach my laptop. So I always have to sit forward. Sat what? I said it's that because you've been sat for a long time. Because you said you sat on the chair for hours. That could be. That's a good potato. That's a good potato, guys. A roasted potato. Lovely. 300 people have watched this stream. We're about to hit the 300th viewer on this stream. Thank you to the people who subscribed today. Laying on your bed and playing video games is fun. It's very fun, but that hurts my stomach eventually. It does hurt my stomach eventually doing that. To be honest, lying down for so long hurts my body. More evening streams when? The only reason I'm streaming late, Decepted, is because I was trying to do my job application. I was trying to do a job application. Hello, Hat Boy. Welcome to the stream. The only reason... Maybe I'll do some more evening streams. I've come up with an idea, Decepted. I'm going to do a FIFA series on here called Forfeit FIFA. So we have to win a certain amount of games. If we don't, there's a forfeit. If we lose more games than we should. Yeah, you had to do that too. What, more evening streams? I had to do a job. I'm trying to do a job application, and I needed to. I only started streaming. I'm eating a sausage casserole. The only reason I'm streaming now is because my the guy that was willing to give me a reference. I don't have his phone number. I only have his email, and I need to add both. So I've sent a message to the guy, but I'm just waiting for his response, because I can't do anything more until then. So that's why I started streaming. But yeah, I can do some longer streams. I prefer these evening streams when it's quiet. So my streams tend to be longer on the weekends when it's quiet. We're pushing up now. We're going to see if we can hit 8k by my birthday. So my birthday's in just over a month. It's just over a month. End of December. Hello, WazzaPG. Welcome to the stream. Yes, I'm 23 next month. It's so weird. I feel so old. I feel so old. I'm 23 next month. It feels so weird. We've got people who are watching my streams now who are like 10 years younger than me. That's disgusting, or away. I'll be back in a second, guys. I'm gonna go kill my dad. That's not my mum, that was my younger sister running up and down the stairs. No, I'm not actually going to kill my dad, guys. I'm not actually going to kill my dad. I'm joking. I am British. My mum doesn't sound like that. That was my sister. Talking dentist. My cousin's being kicked out. He's being kicked out by his cousin. My cousin's being kicked out by his girlfriend. My aunt's asked my dad to borrow some money. My aunt's asked my dad to borrow some money so that they can put some money together so my cousin can buy a flat. And I want my dad to turn around and tell her to fuck off. That's what I want. They're asking my dad for money, and I want them to fuck off. If he gives them the money, I will generally smack him. I want them to fuck off. Like, they should get fucking nothing. This is the first time I've seen them in about 6 months. Discussion, isn't it? It's disgusting. Basically, they can't afford the rent. They can't afford the deposit, so they're asking my dad. And it should be no, fuck off. Oh, yeah. And don't he work? No, he does work and all that. No. But my dad lost his job earlier on in the year, so they know that he got a little bit of a... My dad lost his job earlier on in the year, so they know that obviously they had to pay him a little bit, so that's why they're asking. Which is a fucking scammy move. It's a scammy move if you ask me. But also, guys, as well, I will be totally honest with you on these streams, guys. It's why I prefer my mum's side of them. It's why I prefer my mum's side of the... It's why I prefer my mum's side of the family. Which is... What do you guys think? It's shocking, isn't it? Oh yeah, my dad, literally guys, my dad lost his job earlier on in the year and they had to give him a tiny bit of a payoff. So, but they basically want some of that money. Like, that's just, like, it's why I prefer my mum's side of the family. Like, my mum's side is so much more... Like, my mum's side of the family, literally, if you need something, they'll help you no matter what. You know, if you've fallen over, injured your leg, you know, they'd be straight over with a stretcher. Literally, my dad's side of the family, we only hear from them when they need something. Alright. And it's like, that's just me being honest, guys. That's me being honest. I prefer my mum's side of the family. And plus, my mum's side's very much more... My mum's side's very much more present in my life. Literally, my aunt asked me for a free copy of my novels where all my where like my family members on my mum's side, like my grandparents, my grandparents' siblings, they all bought copies from me. As soon as they found out that I bought a novel, they bought copies from me. Literally, my aunt on my dad's side asked me for a free copy of my book, so I said F off. Yeah, they asked me for a free copy. I'm like, I'm not a big author, guys. Like literally, I've got enough. I've got enough books. I have to. If I'm buying it, if I buy a with like novels, if I get a novel, if I write a novel, I have to through Amazon. I have to pay to get one myself. So how many copies have I got? I bought 3 copies of I bought 3 copies of the Attack from Space. That cost me like 20 quid. So I can't give out a free copy to anyone really, just because of the. All of you are medic. I'm not. Oh yeah, I got banned. What did you get a ban for? I mean, that is worthy of a ban. That's cheating. That was a world record. Bro, why am I still pinned? Sorry, I forgot. I was just telling a story about why I hate my dad's side of the family. I mean, I don't hate my dad's side of the family. Like, I still love them, but I prefer my mum's side. It was a world record, but it's an X-ray. If it's with X-ray in, I prefer vanilla Minecraft. So I prefer Minecraft without X-ray glitches and like things like that. I prefer Minecraft where you get your hands dirty and go and out there and build stuff. Ooh, pardon me. Sorry, I've just did a really nasty burp. But yeah, I will end this stream now, guys. So he pinned that one instead. Did I? I'll unpin it now. What? What? I'm back. AFK Joe. Yeah, sorry. I'm not ending the stream. I'm not ending the stream. I just had to go in to explain to my aunt and uncle about how YouTube monetization worked. And how I got paid by YouTube. How I get paid by YouTube. And what do I do? AFK Joe is a great name though. Perhaps I should put AFK Joe on a shirt. Decepted. Pat, you're a genius. Perhaps I should put AFK Joe on a shirt. AFK Joe. He's an amazing fella. AFK Joe's an amazing fella. Hello Red Hot Toucan, welcome to the stream. Sorry I've been AFK. I just had to explain to my aunt and uncle about how much YouTube, how I get paid by YouTube. He's back. Yes, sorry, I had to go downstairs and explain to my aunt and uncle about how how YouTube monetization works and how I get paid. You got 25 subs today. Cool. Thank you. Congratulations. Bruh, yeah. I didn't tell them how much I've made. I'm like, they might steal that too. I'm joking, guys. I haven't made that much. I've made like 20 quid. I've made enough to buy myself... I've made myself enough to buy a fancy dinner. Got to another 25. Congratulations. I'm aiming to hit 7,500 by the end of this month. But we got 6 days to go and we're 134 away. I don't think we're going to get there. But I think we'll get there soon. Honestly, guys, this is what my dad's side of the family is. My nan, literally the first time she saw me after the COVID lockdowns. Do you guys remember the COVID lockdowns? Yep. When I went into my literally, I can't breathe through my nose, blimey. So I went into the COVID lockdown. I went into the COVID lockdown and I went into the COVID lockdown and I was around about £150. I was around about £150, so that's like I was about 65 kg. I went into the COVID lockdown and I was like, I don't know. I went into that COVID lockdown and I was like between 63 and 65 kg. I went into the COVID lockdown and I was about... During the COVID lockdown, I was 18. I was 18. I went into the COVID lockdown at around about, I don't know, 63 to 65 kg. Roughly £140. I came out of the COVID lockdown at more 95 to 96 kg. And the first thing my nan said to me, guys, was, blimey, you got fat, haven't you? Like, the first thing my nan said to me after I saw after COVID lockdown, blimey, you've piled on the pounds, haven't you? Literally, so I gained like 30, I gained over 30 kg. Which I practically doubled I'd nearly doubled my body weight. I went from 60 to I went from 65. Yeah, 1.5. Because what I meant, guys, was I was like 60 kg. and I went into COVID. After I come out of COVID, I was more like 95 to 96 Koji. Hold on a minute, I'll be back in a second. No, I was back. Basically, I was back. What happened, David, is I had to go and explain to my aunt and uncle who were downstairs visiting my dad. I had to go and explain to them about my YouTube stuff and how... No, my sister's actually quite overweight, but my sister's got like OCD anxiety, guys. My sister's got like OCD and anxiety. So basically, she has no concept of be quiet. There might be a touch of autism in there as well, but she doesn't understand to be quiet. So basically, when she's excited, that's it. Which is not, there's nothing wrong with it, but she doesn't understand that eventually you have to be quiet. And literally, I got woke up at 7 o'clock this morning by her. Basically, when she wakes up, everyone's got to wake up. How old is she? 20, but she's never gonna. 20, but she's never going to be able to go... No, 21, sorry. She's 21, but she's never going to be able to go and do anything, guys. She's never going to be able to work. She's never going to be able to live independently. Like, literally this morning... Yeah, she's never going to be able to work. Like, her concept of life is get up, play video games, lie on the floor, talk to your teddies, talk to her teddies, and then go to sleep. So literally, like literally, guys. So the amount of times, like video games, like without video games, if she wasn't playing video games, she'd be if she wasn't playing video games, she'd be hyper, she'd be breaking shit, because when she gets bored, she starts doing silly things. So she broke her Switch earlier on in the year. No, my sister's always been like that. COVID set her back. My sister's always been like that. Literally, my sister was always kicked out of school. But not being able to process stuff came into it. So basically, kids would be mean to her at lunchtime. Kids would be mean to her at break time, and she wouldn't understand that people were being mean to her. And then she suddenly realised later in the class, after break, she suddenly realised that people were being mean to her and go over there and attack them. So basically, it looked like, to the teachers, it looked like she was a violent kid. But it was because kids were being mean to her. Kids in her class were being mean to her at break time and lunch times. And because she couldn't process stuff like that, what they were doing, she'd suddenly process it later on. So it is awful. And it didn't help, guys. It didn't help that the teacher she had was like in her 60s, and she didn't understand mental health. She didn't understand mental health or mental conditions. So to her, every child with ADHD, autism or thing was just a naughty child that needed to have it. To her, every child with like autism, ADHD, anxiety was just a naughty child. So that doesn't help. The teacher didn't help because the teacher was a teacher that was very old, and the teacher's probably in her 80s now. That teacher's probably in her 80s now, and she was a teacher that basically didn't understand stuff like mental health conditions and things like that. So in her head, any child that had things like ADHD, anxiety, was just a naughty child. Was just a naughty child with behavioural issues, which is awful. So the school environment doesn't help, which is why I agree with homeschooling for certain stuff. The stream didn't end, no. Would have hurt as a sibling, no. Oh yeah, it would have hurt as a sibling. It hurts as a sibling, yeah. So there was a kid that said hello to me a few years ago, and I refused to talk to him. He was in my sister's year, and he was her friend. But what she didn't, she thought he was she thought he was her friend, and they used to get in trouble a lot together. And basically, what would happen is that what would happen is he would basically get her in trouble. He would do stuff, get her in trouble, and then when they were in trouble, because he had a very thin face, he used to turn around and cry and get her told off. And I hate this kid, and I hate him. I hate his. Well, I hate this kid. I hate this kid because I thought he was just. I just hate him, guys. And this kid used to do that. He generally used to get my sister told off for stuff. But basically, this kid is he was very much like a teacher's pet. He basically would get in, if he got in trouble. If him and my sister got in trouble, he'd basically pin all the blame on my sister, and she didn't realise that he was doing it. So of course, he was remaining friends with her. She was remaining friends with him in classrooms, not realising that basically he was always getting her in trouble. And it's sick, and obviously I don't like the guy. It's sick. I don't like the guy, but I don't like his brother either. I think they're both crazy. But that's just, it's evil. And I'm getting emotional now, guys, but it's sick. Yeah, this one kid, he was a very good teacher's pet. Obviously, there's nothing wrong with being a teacher's pet, but this kid, he would basically get other people in trouble, and he was a crybaby. Basically, he was put in charge of a classroom while the teacher left, and he started acting like he was a teacher, and he turned around and said fidget spinners away. This is when fidget spinners were really popular back in like 2015. 2016. Yeah, when fidget spinners were popular, he said to everyone in the classroom, spinners away, trying to act like a teacher, and someone threw a pencil at him, and he didn't cry for another 20 minutes till the teacher came back in. And this person got told off, for throwing a pencil at him, and the pencil missed him. And it's just an interesting story. But this guy, he was a baby. He was a crybaby. But whenever he got in trouble, he pinned the blame on someone else and get them in trouble. And none of these teachers believed anybody. In fact, the kid used to go around. The kid used to. The kid used to go around and watch and see if people dropped money. He used to go in and swoop it. So a guy in my school year dropped a £5 note, and this kid come along, and the only reason he got away with it is because the kid was 3'6". The kid had like, I think it was a growth disorder. So officially, the kid had like slowed growth. So literally, when he was like 13, he was 3'6". But he used to go around and nick people's money as well. If say you dropped a coin, he'd be straight in it. He'd be straight in it and grabbing it. I guarantee he nicked probably. I guarantee he probably nicked about 20 quid. Just to bait them is just something. It is like I don't hate many people, guys, but I hate him. In fact, the guy had an older brother that was a year younger than me, and they were both like it. You bullied? Oh yeah, I remember you saying now about you bullied someone, but there was like there was a reason behind it. But that was more vigilantism, though. You were getting someone back. You were getting someone back for bullying your friend, so that's more justified. No, they don't get far ahead in life. In fact, this guy, he was working at the local football club, and I said to my mate, because me and my friend went and watched a local match last year. I said to him I wouldn't, and he was the kid was generally working and collecting the money, and I said to my friend, I said I wouldn't give him the money. I said half of it's probably ended up in his own pocket. I mean, that would be I probably would have got in trouble for that, because that would have been like defamation, but I don't care. Yeah, so it's horrible. But the thing is, the kid that I'm referring to, he was bullied a lot by people, but that his bullying had a reason, because he was self-righteous. He thought that he was better than everybody else. And then when people proved that he wasn't, like that, this like the story I just said, the kid started crying because someone threw a pencil at him, despite the fact that the pencil was thrown at him 10 minutes before. Like, but yeah, I said that's the story though. But to go and like be friends with someone and then willingly then get them pinned for something you did is just ridiculous. But yeah, what was I gonna? I was gonna mention something just now. Oh yeah, so I was talking about my nan, wasn't I? I was telling the story about my nan. Yeah, my nan on my dad's side. So my dad's mother, the first time she saw me after the first time I saw my dad's mother after my nan after the COVID lockdown, she the first thing she said to me was how fat I'd become. Like, that's bad, isn't it? Yeah, yeah, I'm sorry that didn't work for you. But yeah, the first time I saw my nan after COVID, the first thing she said about was how fat I'd become. No hugs or anything, no. She went, blimey, you put on the pounds. I had gained weight. But I was like 17, 18, guys. When you're like 17, 18, you do gain weight. That's normal. So when I went into when I was like 17, I was like 5 foot. When I was 17, I was like 5'7". When I was like 16, 17, I was like 5'7", 63 kg or something like that. Well, 63 to 68 kg. And after COVID happened, after the COVID lockdowns, I was more 95 to 98 kg. And that's the first thing my nan said to me. Blimey, you've put on the pounds, which I had done, guys. I had put on 5 stone, which is, you guys can work that out, because 1 stone is 14 pounds. Let's have a look. £96 kg is, well, that's about £211. So I put on like £70. Yeah. Yeah, it would have been completely alright, but yeah. In front of others, yeah. Might just be an original disc. Could be. But yeah, I had gained about £70, so I had gained like, 30 kg. But to do that in a couple of months is a lot. Has anyone ever done that? Just put on a ridiculous amount of weight really quickly. I did that when I was younger, guys. Has anyone ever done that? Like, gained a lot of weight instantly, within like a couple of months? I'll get a Nintendo Switch 2, but it costs more than a PlayStation 5. I don't think so, Pixel King. I think that's the other way around. I could have swore the PS5 was more expensive. I would have thought. Has anyone ever done that? Like, gain a substantial amount of weight instantly? Not instantly, but within like a couple of months. Let me tell you, guys, it's awkward, because all your clothes suddenly don't fit. When I was 14, I had that. Well, I was a normal weight. I had an appendix surgery when I was 7. That's normal though. That's normal though, Oraway. Sometimes when you have surgery, you do gain weight. Because you are... but that's normal. So yeah, I had it when I was like 14. So when I was 14, I was like underweight. And then suddenly all my clothes didn't fit anymore. And then it ended up, I had to go and spend a lot of my Christmas money that year on buying new clothes. Ironically though, a lot of the clothes I bought then, all the clothes, guys, that I bought when I was like 16 still fit. Tell you what, this is weird though. From when I was 11 to about 17, from when I was 11 to about 16, I could still wear the clothes that I had when I was 11. There was clothes that I could wear when I was like 11. When I was 11, there was some clothes that I had when I was 16 that I wore when I was 11. Not everyone can do that. Which, fair play though. Not many people can do that. Do you know what? A friend of mine. No, everyone was when I was people around me acted like I almost died, so I was scared about the surgery wounded, and all that. I would run or jump, something might happen or so. Tom, I just left exercise and moving. That's true though. That's an interesting one. Yeah. My excuse, guys, was that my dad got promoted. My excuse was my dad got promoted when I was younger, so we could have snacks more. Which that's quite a bad like answer. But it could be worse. It could be worse, guys. I could be this guy I know that's 190 kg. Could be worse. It could be worse, guys. I could be a guy that I know who's more like 190 kg, which is 420 pounds. Which is a lot of weight. I'm gonna Yeah, so my friend of mine, a friend of mine, Decepted was telling us a story of this guy. Decepted was telling me a story of this guy. The guy that me and him know that's 190. Decepted and 2 other people were sat on a seesaw with him, and 3 people were sat on a seesaw on one side, and he outweighed all 3 of them. And you got to think, they had a seesaw, and the guy that was 190, he was on one side of the seesaw. And so you would call, if you're American, everyone, you'd call, if an American person would call it a teetle-tottler. UK we call it a seesaw. 3 guys were on one side of the seesaw, he was on the other, and let's just say he outweighed all 3 of them. So you got to think, how heavy must you be to outweigh 3 guys? How heavy must you be to outweigh 3 guys on a seesaw? Like, and I guarantee some of them were like 120. I guarantee some of them were like 140, 120, 140, 180. 140 plus 180 is 320, and Decepted was like £100. He outweighed all of them. That's just mental. That's the... Basically, that guy weighs double what I weigh. Literally, if you take my weight and double it, that would be 190. 95 plus 95 is 190. Yeah, 95 plus 95 is 190. So this guy weighs double me. I'm like, how can... That's literally and the guy's shorter than me as well. I'm like, how can you weigh the equivalent of 2 Calamity Joes? Yeah, well, that's the thing, though. That's the thing that I just don't get. Like, you've got to try and lose it. I think he's worried about loose skin. Because obviously, if you're very heavy and you lose weight, you do develop loose skin. But that's because you've lost a lot of weight instantly. Like... But I'm sat there like, you're 5'8" and you're literally double me. Like, I'm taller than him. I'm like, I'm only 2 centimeters taller than the guy, but I'm like, how? I'd rather have loose skin an extra 100 kg. I mean, if I had an extra 100 kg, I'd be 195. I think I'd be dead. I don't think... Some people here might be able to survive having that. I wouldn't. The thing is, though, it depends. It's Tesco's. Tesco's probably off it. Tesco's probably is a good job to work at. What was I going to say, guys? What even is a Tesco? A Tesco's is a supermarket. Tesco's is a supermarket. Tesco's does everything. They do food. Tesco's do everything. Food, appliances. They do everything. Basically, he's back. Yeah, I only muted myself to close the door. Yeah, Tesco's is basically a shop. I only went... I'm at Bryce. Oh, okay. 1.8 seconds. He's had many warnings. Yeah. Tesco's is basically a shop. Tesco's is a shop where you have everything. I quite like Tesco's because Tesco's have a thing called Tesco's Club Card. And if you have a Tesco's Club Card, it means that you get lower prices on some stuff. Sometimes you get 30 pence off. So if you have a club card, you can get like money off, and you get points, which you win shit. It's good. But yeah, that guy that's 190, I'm like, how can you survive being that? Because, you know, that's so much. I just don't get how you can survive being that. I mean, if you're tall, no message from the guy. I haven't checked Instagram yet. I've got two messages, but it's both from Decepted and Decepted's little group chats called Special Guests. How do you change your name in Discords, guys? How do you change your Discord? How do you change your Instagram nickname you've been given? How do you change that? Because my friend has changed my nickname on here. How do you change the names? So basically, my friend has called himself Joe's a Twat, and he's changed my name to Bonnie Blue's Porn Director, and I can't freaking change it. How do you change it? Instagram group chats. How do you change the name? Yeah, that's what my friend's changed my name to that because I wanted to be a film director, so he's changed that, and I can't convince him. I can't change it. I can't convince him that I can't change where I had to change it, and I don't want to be called. I don't want to be called that. Ironically, the guy that's 190 kgs in there, and basically Decepted has changed his name to Burger King. It should be the ultimate Burger King. But yeah, literally, like, I make jokes about being overweight, guys. I make jokes about being overweight to encourage and tell you guys that being overweight isn't too bad. But how can you be that? Why have you changed my name? Why have you changed my name to be why have you changed my name to Bonnie Blue's porn star, porn director? Why have you changed my name to that in Instagram chat? I can't fucking change it. In the fucking special guest chat, I can't work out how to fucking change it. Literally, I've gone in, clicked on something this morning to work out about why, and then you've basically changed my name. You've changed my name to fucking Bonnie Blue's porn director. Why have you changed my name to that? Can I join? Hello, Chevy Hester. Welcome to the stream. Being photo chubby is fine, but people who are that and beyond are beyond it. But people are that are beyond it. Yeah. Yo, can I see your world map? Yeah. Decepted is your Pookie. You've got to tell his girlfriend that. Yeah, so there's some names I've been called. Decepted changed my Discord name a few weeks ago to be something else. I changed my name in Decepted's Discord server to piss off an Armenian person, so I changed my name to Fat Bastard because he kept calling me fat. The Armenian person kept asking me why I'm fat, so I said, so I changed my name to Fat Bastard. You're not the biggest fat bastard. I'm like, fucking hell, because this guy's really literate. So basically, if you change it, so I changed my name to Fat Bastard, guys, which I'm gonna go do that. I'm gonna change my name back to Fat Bastard. What's my name on Decepted server right now? On Decepted server right now. On Decepted's Discord server right now, my name is General Secretary Joseph Stalin. Let's change my name to the Ultimate Fat Bastard. That's what I'm going to call myself. The Ultimate Fat Bastard. There we go. Should I change my? Should I do that again? Should I go do that on Decepted server? Should I change my name to the Ultimate Fat Bastard? Why not? Let's have a joke, guys. Let's have a laugh. The Ultimate Fat bastard. There we go. His ward is because it's big. This is the map of my world. The 510 legend. I like that. I like that. How big is your world? It's 3,072 blocks by 3,072 blocks. His world is big because he's big. Yeah, true. Perhaps I should build a statue of myself, but it would fill the screen. I'm joking, guys. Oh, I found out, guys. I found out the nickname. I found the nickname button. Oh. Let's change Deceptive's name in Instagram to in this Instagram group chat to Jeffrey Epstein. There you go. He's Jeffrey Epstein. I'll be Donald Trump. No, I'll be Donald Trump. Just there we go. There you go. He's Jeffrey Epstein and I'm Donald Trump. Like 20 years he is. Guess how old he is. 9 years. I've been on this world 9 years. I don't wish I'm 42, guys. I won't be 42 for quite a while. Oh my god, sorry, my nose is itchy. Yeah, so I've just changed Deceptive's name in Instagram in this Instagram group chat of his. I've changed his name to Jeffrey Epstein, and I've just become Donald Trump. I don't know what I'm gonna do, Pixel King. Build some stuff probably. Maybe I'll bring back PS Pig, the villain, and do a Survivor Legacy storyline episode. I haven't done a Survivor Legacy storyline episode in 2 years. What's my biggest build? My biggest builds. I'll show you what the biggest builds are. Yeah, of course you do. Like, he would normally, Bryce Childress would be, he would join the stream and he would comment normal stuff, and then eventually he's just got sillier and sillier. So yeah, you do have permission. Fucking Enderman. Enderman have stole my... Oh. Bloody Enderman, they've stole my bloody... They've nicked some blocks from my house. There he goes. Perfect. Yeah, so I would probably do something special, Pixel King. Probably. I just want to buy a PS3 so I can play the oldest update on Minecraft PlayStation 3. Yeah, I love Legacy. I love this I love this version of Minecraft, guys. I love this version of Minecraft. Right, let's just jump into here. Sorry, Aura Belly. I'll show you now. I just wanted to go to sleep for a second. YouTube's giving me an advert from something called Love Honey. I do love honey. I had some honey earlier on. It was the nicest honey I've ever tried in my life. Guys, fun fact, did you know honey doesn't go off? Honey doesn't go off. Did you guys know that honey doesn't go... I'm talking about the old... Before the wither was even a thing. You could even craft golden apples with golden nuggets. And there was no woodland mansions or words on words. Words were tiny. Yeah, words have always been tiny on PS3. PS3 words are classic. As were... honey doesn't go off. So it doesn't have a expiry date. You can eat honey from thousands of years ago, because honey is a substance that doesn't expire. So if you eat they found honey from the they found 4,000-year-old honey in the pyramid. Yeah, everyone probably should know that, but they found honey from the pyramids recently, and they could eat it. So that honey was made by someone 4,000 4,000. That honey was made by someone 4,000 years ago. Fair play. 4,000 years ago. Imagine what they would. Imagine that someone 4,000 years ago was thinking, I'm just going to make this honey. I'll set it for later on, and I'll have it later on. He never ate it. He died. Everyone else around him died. His ancestors of his ancestors died. Died. In 4,000 years ago. Raw honey is the best. Yes, so to answer your question, who was it that said about what's my biggest word? Yeah, Oro Belly. This is the second biggest build on the world. This is the second biggest build, the snow globe. And then the first is the lighthouse. The lighthouse is slightly bigger. In terms of largest builds, the pyramid is 32 blocks wide. In pyramid of largest blocks, the desert temple here is 32 blocks by 32 blocks, and then 53 blocks high. But the biggest build of all is the lighthouse. The lighthouse is 65 blocks from base to tip. From top to bottom. So, a block in Minecraft, guys, a block in Minecraft is a meter. A block in Minecraft is a meter. So, the biggest build is a lighthouse. The lighthouse would be the equivalent of 65 meters. The lighthouse would be the equivalent of 65 meters in Minecraft. Oraway and Orabelly. Yeah, Orabelly and Oraway. Yeah. Hey again. Wait, it's 16 by 16. What if you have subscriber Minecraft Monday or something where a world is that a non-realm you can join? I would do that. I would do that. That's something that I could do. Subscriber Minecraft Monday. Monday Madness? I like calling them good names. So this build here is 65 blocks. Monday. Yeah, I love giving them good names. Survival Monday Madness. I'm thinking about it. I will think about that. Yeah, so from there, from the floor. Oh, I love a Malteser. I love a Malteser, guys. From where I need to, let's find a better spot to look down from here. So yeah, from all the way down there, from the sand down there to up here to at the top there, that's 65 blocks. That's 65 blocks. So Minecraft blocks, for example, are a meter. So you can actually tell how big Minecraft creepers are. So Minecraft mobs, I mean, creepers are 1.7 meters. Creepers are 1.7 meters, so they would be the equivalent of 5'7". Oh, whoops. So you can tell, like, in my armor, because of my ears, I'm over 2 meters. But if you were to go to Minecraft Steve, let's take the helmet off. The ears make me The ears make me taller than the Minecraft block. So, have you ever noticed this key detail, guys, on things? Let's go favorite skins. We ain't counting the ears, sir. Yeah, so if I go and put this on, I haven't got boots. Ah. Basically, with the armor, if you wear armor like this, so obviously Supreme Leader Snoke from Star Wars is much taller than is a very tall character. So his leg if we go and put some actual boots on, his legs stick out. It's oh, I haven't got anything for it, but yeah, his legs stick out. So as you can see, guys, if we put boots on, his legs stick out the bottom because the armor's not meant for Snoke being ridiculously tall. So now let's change skin. Let's go to Snoke is lanky. He's like 7 foot. So then we go and put this on, see, and then suddenly you see less of the leg because this happens to be a British officer. I just want to find some boots a minute to show you guys what I mean, but I haven't got any. So yeah, if you go, it's a little detail, but all the skins that are tall, have this where. I'm gonna go and find a pair of boots and show you guys it. Yeah, the boots. I've accidentally done that, guys, and froze the game. Didn't get any in game. I had some. Well, yeah, I had to buy a new pair of shoes recently, guys. I had to buy a new pair of shoes recently. I had to buy a new pair of shoes 2 sizes bigger than my actual shoe size. To actually get a pair of shoes to actually fit properly, I had to go and buy a pair of shoes 2 sizes too big to actually get them to fit comfortably. But that's just. I've never known anyone else in the world. I've never known anybody else have to do that. Well, I had to buy shoes at size. I had to buy shoes at size 9, despite the fact that I'm actually like 6.5. I had to wear shoes that are a UK size 9, despite the fact that my shoe size is actually like 6.5. 7. Here, there we go. So I had to wear a shoe size that's I have to wear shoe sizes that are like 2 sizes. 6, 7, no. But I was saying, see, guys, so yeah, the feet's the arm. See what I mean? No, what I was saying that my shoe size should actually be a 6.5, or a size 7, but I have to wear shoes. So I have to wear shoe sizes like 2 sizes too big because my feet are that wide. But I've never seen anyone else have to do that. I've never seen anyone else have to go 2 sizes, go a size or 2 sizes up just to find a pair of shoes that fit. I've never seen anyone else have to do that before. I've heard about long feet but wide feet. Yeah. What I mean, guys, is that my feet are that wide, I have to go for a size or 2 above just because of how wide they are. They go wider in the middle. It's weird. Well, not wider in the middle, but it's weird. It's weird. It's not. It's a natural thing, but at least the joke is though. The funny thing is though. Can I buy your used socks and shoes? That's weird. Why? That's just weird. Well, I'm kind of lucky though because I've got really. I have duplicated stuff on this word. I'm quite lucky though, guys. I still have to. I've always been quite lucky in that regard though. Even though I've got to go 2 sizes to. Even though I've got to go 2 even though I've got to go. Sorry, I need speech. Even though I've got to go 2 shoe sizes higher just to get a pair of shoes that fit because I've got really wide feet, guys. I'm rather lucky because even with buying shoes 2 sizes 2 up, that's still a size which is very small. How's your day going? Hello, Dylan Harrison. Welcome to the stream. I was just referring to a weird thing that I have. I was saying about how clothes shopping's expensive now, and I mentioned about how I had to buy new shoes recently, and I had to buy shoes which were 2 sizes too big. I'm just size 11s. I wouldn't even know what that is. That would be European? I don't even know what that is. I wouldn't even know what that is, Orway. Is that Europe? That's not European. I do play Bedrock, but I'm not playing Bedrock now. But I'm not playing Bedrock now because I prefer this version. I wouldn't even know what that is because I thought the EU sizes. Is that American size? Because EU don't do it like that. EU do it really weirdly. EU. Well, Legacy was similar to Java than Bedrock. Bedrock is a weaker system because Bedrock was used to. Bedrock's a weaker system. Bedrock is a weaker system because it was Bedrock was initially just for PS. Yeah, that's what the EU do. Yeah. Yeah, that is it. That's a yeah. An EU 45. An EU 45 is UK 10.5. Do you know what? Shoes are weird, guys. Shoes are weird. You can be incredibly tall, but then have a really small shoe size. It's so weird. There was a case of an Everton striker. There was an Everton striker back in like the 60s. There was an Everton striker back in the 70s. He was 6'4", yet he had size 6 feet. There was a joke about it. Yeah, it's a joke. It's so weird. But yeah, the guy made a joke. There was an Everton player like it. It's what time is it where you are? In Italy it's 8 PM. It's 7 PM for me. It's 7 PM for me. Dinner at 8 PM. That's quite a late dinner. Dinner in the UK is normally 5-6 PM. I literally had mine about half hour ago, actually. I had mine about half hour ago. Thank you to the people who subscribed, by the way. That's so weird. Whoopsie. Thank you to the people who subscribed. 703. Yeah. An hour till the match. Yeah, Everton are playing Man United, which I will end the stream soon because Everton's lineup should be out. End the stream. Yeah, Everton will be on. I can't miss Everton, guys. My passion, my love. There's only blue blood in my veins. Right. Fucking hell. Google's being stupid. It's only showing me the substitutes. I can tell you that Dwight McNeil. Oh, Seamus Coleman must be a right back then. Dwight McNeil, Beto, Mark Travers, Jake O'Brien, Tyler Dibling, Carlos Alcaraz, Tom King, Adam Asnew, Tim Irabunum. So, because O'Brien's not at right back, it must be Seamus Coleman. Seamus Coleman, guys, if he plays today, he will nudge. If Seamus Coleman plays today, he'll nudge Leon Osman and Dixie Dean out of Everton's all-time top 10 appearance stats. Seamus Coleman is about to play his 434th league game for Everton. He's about to play his 472nd game for Everton. He's played for Everton for 17 seasons. Everton's literally, if you want to look at Premier League deals, guys, legacy. I prefer I can't really tell you that because I don't really play I can't really say Java because I've never played it. Yeah, it's just showing me the substitutes. It's not showing me the first team. It's not showing me the players on the pitch. Let me just refresh it and see if it does. Yeah, it's telling me the. I'm gonna screenshot it and put it in my Discord server. It's only telling me the subs bench. Bayender, Diego Dallo, Lissandro Martinez, Mason Mount, Tyrell Malacia, Manuel Ugarte, Aiden Heaven, Kobe Mainu, Shea Lacey. Guys, Everton and Man United played each other in the summer in a pre-season match. There was a shoving match on the pitch. Everton scored during the middle of a shoving match. It was 2-1. And Bruno Fernandes hacked Iliman Ndiaye down. Iliman Ndiaye skilled him out, took the ball from him, dispossessed him, and then because he dispossessed him, Bruno Fernandes kicked out at him. So he got the ball to another Everton player. Iliman Ndiaye turned to have a shoving match with him. There was a shoving match between 4 or 5 players. Everton's young youth players are still going up the pitch, and then Man United score an own goal while there's a punch up on the pitch. It's hilarious. It was hilarious. It was brilliant. Nightbot and Daybot. But yeah, Man United and Everton had a punch up on that pitch. Bruno Fernandes should have been sent off. He should have been sent off in that pre-season game because he booted some. Now I'm gonna go and watch Everton Decepted because Everton are playing Manchester United today, so I want to watch Everton take on Man United. You watch F1? No, I don't, because F1 feels quite boring to me. Like if you're at the front of the start of the race, you've won it. Pretty much. F1 I think used to be more exciting, like back 20-30 years ago, but now it's got a bit stale in my opinion. Decepted's popped out of your pocket. Oh no, you called him your Pookie. I thought you just said Decepted in my pocket. I totally read that wrong then. Yeah, it doesn't even say Everton's lineup. It just says the subs bench. That's so weird. It just says the subs bench. Right, let's have a look. Everton would have put their own lineup up. Oh, I'm gonna go and look at Instagram. I'm gonna go and look at Instagram because Everton would have put the lineup on Instagram. Oh, thirsting nodes up. Pickford, Coleman, Tarkowski, Keane, Mikalenko, Garner, and Dye, Dewsbury Hall, Grealish, Barry. Yeah, that's quite strong. Coleman's playing though. Great. I love Seamus Coleman. Bench. It's just showing me. It was just showing me the subs bench for Everton, Manchester United. What are we talking about? We were talking about the football. The football team I support. The football team, Everton, the football team I support are playing. Everton, the football team I support. Everton, the football team I support, are playing in an hour. And it was only showing me the subs bench. It was only showing me the football players that were on the subs bench. But I've just looked at the team. Yeah, Seamus Coleman is playing. Guys, who is the best signing? Who's the best signing in Premier League history? Who is the best? What's the best Who is the best bargain signing in Premier League history? Guys, who is the best signing in the Premier League? Nah, that's still a massive amount though. That's not a bargain though. That's still a huge amount of money. I would say it is Seamus Coleman who plays for Everton. He's played nearly 500 times for Everton, and they bought him for 60 grand. Everton bought Seamus Coleman in 2009 for 60 grand, and he's played nearly 500 matches for them. Basically, if they were to pay him every game for that 60 grand, they'd only pay him £150 a match. Yeah, Everton bought Seamus Coleman for 60 grand from Sligo Rovers, and Seamus Coleman would have been an even better one. Like Man United offered him. Man United offered 30 million for him, so 60 grand to 30 million. I'll tell you what, Orabelli, Jarrad Branthwaite will top that. Jarrad Branthwaite will top that. Everton bought him for 800 grand, and Man United want to sign him for 80. But Everton won't get rid of him. Everton won't get rid of him and just extended his contract 5 years. Jarrad Branthwaite, Everton signed him when he was 17 for 800 grand. And now he's predicted to be one of the best young English centre-backs in the Premier League. He hasn't played this season because he got injured in pre-season. He got injured just before the start of the in pre-season. And he hasn't actually played this season due to the fact that he's been injured. He's not that far to coming back though. Hello Hesbim Hotel, welcome to the stream. But yeah guys, like, I love football. He's not becoming injury prone. He's not injury prone. Evan Ferguson's not really getting game time. Evan Ferguson's not really injured. He's just not getting game time. It's the same with what's his name. The problem with Manchester United recently. The problem with Manchester United recently is that you've had so many different managers. There's been so many different managers for Manchester United, and that you've got players that won't play. The problem with Manchester United is that they had so many players bought by so many different managers that don't suit the new manager's style of play. It's like let me think of a good example. It's like let me think of the guy, Umar Niasse. Umar Niasse, who used to play for Everton. Umar Niasse that used to play for Everton. Ronald Koeman didn't want him. Ronald Koeman didn't even give him a locker room in the a locker in the Everton training ground. But he came on and scored 2 goals and saved his job. After he got sacked a couple of months later, but he came on, scored twice, and saved him. It's the same as Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Dominic Calvert-Lewin come on and saved Marco Silva's career. Marco Silva, yeah, they're back in Animarum now, but they've given him money to start bringing in players that he wants to sign. Whereas Man United, for the last few years, it's like David Moyes. David Moyes, who's Everton's manager, was never backed as Man United manager. Man United had an aging squad, and they gave him 67 million for improvements, and they would give 67 million. Like he wanted to sign Thing. But Real Madrid are the same though, or away. Like Real Madrid had Modric for 40. Real Madrid had Modric that was in their 40s. Yeah, Everton. The difference with Everton though is Everton have to rebuild. Everton have to rebuild from years of financial stress because of the fact that they couldn't sign anybody. Everton can spend 200 million in the transfer window this season. I've heard that they want to sign Scott McTominay. They want to sign Ivan Toney. They want to sign, which they want to make. You know, Everton's new owners want to make it competitive again, which is what the Everton fans want. Everton fans are pissed off by the fact that they haven't won anything in 30 years, which is true. You know, Everton got close to winning the FA Cup in 2009. 67 mil right then, it's like 120 mil. Nah. 67 million in 2000. But players were worth that then. 67 million now, yeah, probably. It could be. That was 13 years ago though. But 67 million, that's 67 million to try and buy players. So David Moyes brought in players, but the problem with Manchester United back then was that they had a lot of aging players. A lot of Man United's team was over 30. In fact, Orabelli, it came out Sir Alex Ferguson only resigns. Sir Alex Ferguson only resigns because he asked for £200 million to rebuild Manchester United, and they turned it down. They told him no. So he resigned. David Moyes becomes the next manager, and Alex Ferguson wasn't initially going to retire. Mata, you got Mata. David Moyes signed Mata, and he signed Fellaini. He signed Fellaini, which he signed Fellaini as well. He signed Marouane Fellaini from Everton. He wanted to sign Phil Jagielka and Leighton Baines from Everton as well. But basically, Everton wanted 20 million for the pair of them, but he couldn't afford it. Yeah, it's not Arnold. The A doesn't mean anything, guys. The A means something, but it doesn't mean anything. It's just because it's just my initials, so I put it on the book. But yeah, it's not Arnold. I wish it was Arnold though. I'll be back. Fucking hell. Anyway, what was I gonna say? Well, I was gonna make a joke then. Nintendo Switch. No, so yeah, David Moyes. He wanted to sign Leighton Baines and Phil Jagielka for Manchester United, who were obviously, and Everton wanted 25 million for the pair of them, and they wanted 25 million for the pair of them because they were really good players. and they couldn't afford. David Moyes couldn't afford it because he was only given 67 million. He was only given about 60, 70 million, so he couldn't get that signing through. Which David Moyes would have been a great man. Have you guys seen David Moyes' record? He won 27 games. Like, David Moyes, from 51 games, he won 27 of them. He won 27 and then he lost 15. Nowadays, last season, Man United would have loved him. The last season, Man United would have absolutely loved him. Last season, they would have absolutely loved him. That would have been like a good season to them. I always wanted Baines in his prime. Yeah, Baines, yeah, Man United would have had him. But David Moyes couldn't afford it because Everton wanted 25 million for him. Leighton Baines played in an Everton, because he's assistant manager now. Leighton Baines played in a Legends match against Roma Legends a couple of months ago. I would have signed him and given him a contract. I would have given him a contract just to be back at Everton. The 40-year-old was sprinting and putting crosses in like he was when he was 20. Like he was when he was 25. Well, it's not that Man United dropped expectations. The problem was you had Sir Alex Ferguson for 20 years. Where did all the youth players go? You know, you had this great crop of players come through. Beckham, Scholes, Ince. You had Ince, Scholes, Beckham, the Neville brothers, Giggs. All these great youth players come through. Where did all that go? Where did all Man United's great youth players go? I mean, Rooney's not a youth player. Rooney's not a Man United youth player because Rooney came through the Everton Academy. Ronaldo came through the Sporting Academy. Man United. No, but Ronaldo played for Real Madrid, but he didn't come through their academy. Where did Man United's academy go? Man United had this great academy, and then they just started buying world-class players. Man United started buying world-class players. This is what Manchester United did. After they'd established themselves with these good youth players, they just started going around and buying the best young players. They started buying the best young players. So, you know, they bought players like Ronaldo from other places because they could afford to do it. But the problem was, eventually the other teams around them got better. The other teams had more money. And then it sort of went wrong. But it went wrong. Every manager that's taken over after someone that's been somewhere a long time has failed. Saha was the last gem in the academy. Everton tried to sign him in 2019. They offered 70 million plus 2 players, and Palace turned around and rejected it. In fact, they offered 70 million plus 2 players, and they rejected it. Everton spent all summer trying to buy Zaha from Palace. Zaha? Well, I quite like the look of what's his name, though. Marcus Rashford, I reckon, was their great academy player. Their great academy player was Marcus Rashford. He's probably good. I quite like the look of Kobe Mainoo. I think he looks quite a good player. Mason Greenwood was a good player, but then obviously it all went wrong for him. Now it's all been dropped, but a lot of people don't believe it. But Man United's greatest manager was also their worst manager, because Sir Alex Ferguson made Manchester United. Not made them, but he was their greatest ever manager, but also he destroyed their academy, so technically he's their worst manager as well. McTominay, that's another one. Everton are apparently going to buy him in January. There's rumours that Everton are going to break the transfer record to buy him in January, because David Moyes sees him as a perfect signing. I agree. I agree. I think he's a real good player. So there is rumours. There is rumours that Everton are going to buy him in January. I've heard. Yeah, Man United's got some good players. I think what's his name, Ahmed Diallo, looks quite a good player. But literally, this is what my dad said to me, guys. It's really, really good points. If you look at players, yeah, if you look at Manchester United now, and look at their team, 20 years ago, you'd have looked at Man United players and gone, I'd like two or three of these in my team. Now you look at Man United players and you're like, would you want any of them in your team? Because I think the only one that you'd probably want from that team is probably Fernandes. I think Fernandes is a good player. I just think he's very whingy. I think Fernandes is a good player. I just don't like his attitude. I don't like how whingy he is. When everything doesn't go his way, I've never seen someone whinge as much as he does. Harry Maguire, I think, is actually a good player. Harry Maguire, I think, is actually quite a good player. Harry Maguire is a good player. He gets shit on. He gets shitted on. He's the same as Jordan Pickford. You know, Jordan Pickford is one of the best goalkeepers in Europe, but he gets shitted on because he plays for Everton. What was it having the best of Lukaku? What was it like having the best of Lukaku? Lukaku is an interesting one. He's better when he plays for small teams. The problem with Lukaku at Manchester United is they didn't play to his strengths. The thing with Lukaku when he played for Man United, they didn't play to his strengths. The strength of Lukaku is that if you get him, if you're running and you get the ball to him quickly, he will outmuscle players. That and the whole thing. I think he should have stayed at Everton. If he'd have stayed at Everton, you know, he would have scored 150 goals. Because with Everton in his last season at Everton, he bagged 25 goals. His last season at Everton, he bagged 25 Premier League goals. Lukaku, that season, Lukaku was only 4 goals off the Golden Boot. He lost the Golden Boot by 4 goals to Harry Kane. Harry Kane bagged 29. Lukaku scored 25. Lukaku for Everton scored 87 goals. This is not a multiplayer world, and it's also Legacy Console Edition, I'm afraid. But yeah, Lukaku was a really good player, but the problem with Lukaku was he struggled if people didn't play to his strengths. So he never... Chelsea didn't play to his strengths. He was really good with West Brom. 17 goals in 17 goals to West Brom. Went to Everton where he scored 18. And then he went to Everton permanently where he bagged another 60 odd. The problem with Man United is Man United never played to his strengths. But the only thing that was right about him going to Man United was the price tag. He generally was worth 90 million. He generally was worth 90 million. Yes, I have actually, Araway. I was in a cave and I read a sign that says sometimes you can see a ghost waving you, and I felt something put their hand down on my shoulder and there was no one near me. My dad was about 20 feet in the opposite direction. I felt a hand go down on the back of my shoulder and I was facing my dad, who was about 25 feet away. So I felt a handprint behind me and there was nothing behind me. But no, I haven't felt anything like that since, but I felt a handprint in a cave. Sometimes you'll see a ghost waving at you, and then I felt a handprint, and I felt a hand come down on my shoulder. I felt something pat me on the shoulder, which was just, ugh, it gave me the heebie-jeebies. Anyway, guys, Everton will be on in 30 minutes. I'm going to end this stream. I'm going to think about that's FIFA idea, guys. Where perhaps I should do it on Friday. Perhaps it should come out every Friday. It should be called Forfeit FIFA Friday. Hello, Crime Man. Welcome to the stream. Right, guys, I will end this stream in a second because we've been streaming for almost 4 hours, and Everton are on in a minute, so I've got to watch Everton because I love Everton. So I hope you have all enjoyed yourselves on today's stream, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Thank you for watching, everybody, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.